LATD Nation, what's good with y'all? We back here with another video. You see, you got the Eagles hat on. I figured, fly Eagles fly. You feel me? Of course, it's your boy Jay,
and it's RG from the 843.
And we have a special guest with us.
In case y'all couldn't tell, it's a little bit different. We're starting to really get into the groove of getting these special guests for y'all. So, you go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Taiwan Scott, but they call me Two-Turn. And they've been talking about me on the show a lot, so I'm pretty sure y'all heard about me.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
in the flesh.
Been mentioned a couple of times, as a matter of fact.
Finally on the podcast, man. Good to be here, y'all.
Yes,
Thank y'all for having me, man.
Yes,
Thank y'all so much.
Appreciate you taking the time, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what are we going to talk about today?
Well, if you
in case you couldn't tell.
Okay, well, he just spoiled it. Not really. But we're going to talk about this, dominant win that we got the other day, Super Bowl Sunday. The Eagles beat the Chiefs, and became Super Bowl champions on February 9th, 2025.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the floor for this.
What a time.
You've been waiting to say this.
Oh, yeah, what a time to be alive. And I told y'all jokers, all the ones who doubted Jalen Hurts, what's up? We beat the brakes off them jokers 40-22.
Yeah, that was fun.
40-22. Yeah, I knew that already. I didn't have to talk to my friends about it. But the thing is, y'all might be saying, well, that's not that good of a score, blah, blah, blah. But no, if you watch the game, by halftime, we was up 27-0. And by the end of the third quarter, we were up 34-0. They didn't score until maybe like
the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter. The third, I thought.
Or either towards the end of the third or the fourth quarter. But it was like
third or early fourth.
But it was real late third. But the thing is, though, we was up 34-6 in the fourth quarter. I don't know what is to say. Pat Mahomes got the brains beat out him the whole time by the front line.
He looked embarrassed.
And we didn't.
That was absolutely surprising too. I was not expecting that at all.
Oh yeah, he definitely looked demoralizing. And I didn't see that coming either. I expected this game to be closer than it was.
Yeah.
But when I saw that front four constantly get to him and keep getting to him and keep getting to him, I'm like, ooh, this might be bad. But the thing is, I was okay. So we were watching the game at Ty's house, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going crazy
with them wings. Them things was hitting.
Then it was busting.
That honey barbecue, like I said, he put his foot in the wings for real.
He did.
Definitely with the sliders too. They was tender, and the wings was tender, all falling off the bone. You feel me? But anyway, so we watching the game. I'm going crazy because I'm thinking that the Chiefs gonna come back by the end of the second half, right? Nah. The defense still stuffed them down, and then on top of that, the offense kept capitalizing. Yeah. There were a couple moments where the offense had a couple miscommunications with Brown. I think Jalen Hurts had one pick. Speaking of him, his stats were he went 17 for 22, threw 220 yards, maybe 220, 240, and had two passing touchdowns, and one touchdown on the ground. Crazy season, and I've said this many times. People want to give Jalen Hurts a lot of crap and talk about he's not an elite quarterback, this, that, and the third. But I remember 2 years ago when we didn't have him against the Dallas Cowboys back in 22. We lost that game on Christmas Eve, and we had Gardner Minshew because Jalen Hurts was. No pun intended.
Boy, you was mad as hell too.
Boy, what? I miss it all. I'm missing cussed out. I almost cussed out my aunt that day because I was mad, and then I think Minshew threw a pick or something like that, and I stood up. What the fuck are y'all doing? I'm like, and then I looked around, and nobody heard me. So and everybody was laughing. So I'm like, I guess I'm good.
No, they definitely heard you.
That's crazy.
So my thing is when we didn't have him, we lost a close game like that. When a game that we would have won if we would have had him. Yeah. Fast forward to this year with the Washington Commanders when they beat us by 3. I said if we would have had Jalen Hurts that game, if he never got hurt, we would have been up by 20.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fast forward to the NFC Championship. What did we do? 50 burger on them boys' head.
55-23.
Oh yeah, that boy.
That offense look a whole lot different than the first
time. And I told you, as much as people want to give Hurts crap, He's the heart and soul of that offense, and he proved it today. Oh, he was carried all season by Saquon. Saquon did good in this game too, but not as good as he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be, quote unquote. He still had like 70 yards on the ground, maybe something like that, around there. Yeah, it was definitely over 40, about around over 50, really. Yeah. But my thing was, when he wasn't really good, when he didn't really get going, what did Hurts do? They didn't account for Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown at all, and they kept beating the receivers down. They kept beating the DBs and corners down the field the whole time. Yeah, them boys got burnt bad. Wide open too. Exactly. Like I said, if it wasn't for a couple miscommunications in that one pick that Jalen Hurts threw,
probably would have been worse.
It would have been way worse. It would have been a 50 burger on them, bro. Yeah. The only reason why they even scored 22 is because we put the Chiefs scored 22 was because we put our second string in. Yeah. It was over, bro.
But it was over, sisters. It was pretty much over by the second half. By the time the halftime show was getting ready to start, we were kind of like this. If they don't tighten up, this is pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point.
Exactly, exactly. Oh, the Eagles ain't gonna do nothing. They don't got no this, that, and the third. I said this before the game started, that we were the better team. Yeah, we were the much better team. Matter of fact, they didn't have much on their team. The Chiefs didn't have much on their offense or their defense. They had Chris Jones, but he's an Asian dude going out of almost out of the league himself. Well, okay, I won't say all that because Chris Jones is still a beast. He's probably the best D lineman, arguably the best, defender that they have in general. But he's still up there in age, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's how he looks. But looks can be deceiving. And then, but on top of that, they had D Hop on offense, who still is a good receiver, but he's not nearly what he was when he was with the Texans and the Cardinals. No,
he didn't look the same.
Exactly, and then
he missed like a wide open,
wide open catch. He missed. That was crucial too.
And matter of fact, that would have probably given them a touchdown. That would put them in the game.
That would have.
If they had scored that, and then they scored what they did with that 22, they probably would have been way closer.
Oh yeah,
they might have actually gave y'all a run for y'all money.
Well, they didn't, because the biggest thing that why the same reason why I said that Jalen Hurts is the heart and soul of our offense. Clearly, Mahomes is with theirs, and when we would always get pressure on him, and he couldn't go nowhere.
That's how you beat him.
That's exactly how we beat him.
Press him, make him think, make him
make mistakes.
Yeah, don't let him get too much time in the pocket. Basically,
exactly.
He got a cannon for an arm.
Exactly, and he showed that. And he showed that right to Xavier Worthy, who set the record for the fastest 40-yard time in NFL history with a 4.21. This man hit a long bomb down the field at the end for their 22nd point. And I'm like, okay, this dude Mahomes is that guy. Don't get me wrong, but
he just had an off game.
He had a very off game.
Give credit to y'all defense too, though.
Our defense came to play. And then Cooper DeJean on his birthday, same thing with Saquon, but
pick six.
We had that pick six, bro. I was going crazy. Man, I miss him. Broke my phone.
He's good too. He's really good. He's a good safety.
Oh yeah. No, is he a safety or is he a corner?
I think he's a safety.
He's a corner, right?
I thought it was a safety.
I mean, they always sing that song. Cooper DeJean is not a safety.
No, he's just a corner. You gotta elaborate more on that. You threw your phone down.
Okay, so keep in mind, in Ty's house, part of his floor is like carpet. So I'm thinking my phone was going to be okay regardless. So I got a little excited when Jalen Hurts threw that long bomb 46-yard touchdown to Devontae Smith, to start off one of their drives, a single play touchdown that we had in the Super Bowl, which we won, by the way, 40 to 22. Anyway, so I got excited and another one of our friends came up to me and was like, "Congratulations, sir." I said, "No, it's not over yet." And then that's when it happened. I said, "Not yet." And I took my phone and threw that motherfucker as hard as I could, thinking that not really thinking at all actually. And whatever I had in my hand, I threw it down, and it was carpet. So I'm thinking it's gonna be fine. I look at it later. The screen isn't cracked, but the whole y'all can't see it, but the whole camera side and back side is all cracked up like a
shattered.
Essentially, yeah. So I guess I'm a pretty strong cat, you know what I'm saying? So
it's no my own strength type shit.
Exactly, bro. But that's I was extremely happy to see this win though.
Yeah. Also, I gotta say, Jalen Hurts is hella underrated. in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
he's very underrated.
Yeah, people want to give him a bunch of crap talk about, he has a good team around him. Ain't that the point of fucking football?
That's like when people get mad at LeBron for winning in Miami when he had Wade and Bosh. I mean, you're supposed to have a good team around you.
Right, exactly.
You guys saw with Cleveland how he couldn't win because he didn't have a team around him. So
basically, yeah.
Exactly. Where was all this energy when, like I said, if you're going to call Jalen Hurts overrated over that, where's all this energy for Peyton Manning? Now, I'm not saying Peyton Manning is overrated, but you know what I'm trying to say. But my thing is, like, Peyton Manning had a whole bunch of Hall of Fame running backs and receivers, Hall of Fame weapons in general, and Hall of Fame caliber weapons in general, like Reggie Wayne, who's always been a finalist. You have Marvin Harrison, who is in the Hall of Fame, Marshall Faulk, Edgerrin James, Terrell Davis. Yeah, all of them are in the Hall of Fame. Oh, but y'all don't. And Peyton Manning couldn't run to save his life. Literally, all he could do was throw, and he was smart too. Yeah, I'll give him that. He's not a bad QB, but if you're gonna say Jalen Hurts, who's 5 times the athlete that this cat is, but Saquon carried them. Saquon didn't do nothing in the Super Bowl. Jalen carried everybody else. What are we gonna say? If that's the case, let's call Kurt Warner overrated too. He had Marshall Faulk on his team as well when they won the Rams. They had Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce. He went on another Super Bowl. Exactly.
A quarterback needs somebody to throw to.
Exactly.
That's the point of being a quarterback.
That's what among many issues. That's what my team lacked right there.
Exactly. Who's your team again?
Do I really have to say?
Yes. Go.
The Carolina Panthers.
What?
No, say it louder so everybody can hear you.
For the people in the back.
The Carolina Panthers.
Yes, sir.
Don't get on me because just saying that is punishment enough.
And you know what's kind of wild? The Panthers played us better in the regular season than the Chiefs did in the Super Bowl. That's kind of
the Panthers.
We damn near took the rug out from underneath y'all. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, we did. Y'all almost won.
Yo, I will say this though: if the Panthers can add a bit more pieces around, Bryce Young, I think the Panthers can make some noise.
Oh yeah, I do too.
For sure, he looked good.
He looked good. He just needs to develop more, but like he looks really, really good.
He's starting to get his confidence.
Yeah, he's starting to get his stride.
Exactly, yeah. And everybody's so quick to call like players that that are like late bloomers, call them busts all the time.
Yeah,
they're ready to call Nolan Smith and the Kobe Dean bust. Pause. And and the Kobe Dean was a beast this year.
Yeah,
until he got injured, but he was a beast this year. We almost lost to the Jaguar, and he had a clutch pick at the end of the game, and I'm like, bro, like, what are we talking about? Anyway, back to what I was saying about overrated quarterbacks. Like I said, let's call Kurt Warner overrated. Like I said, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Marshall Faulk when they played on the Rams and got that Super Bowl win against the the Titans, with Eddie George and them. Let's call him overrated. Oh, he also went on another Super Bowl run with the Cardinals back in like 08 or 09 when he had exactly against the Steelers when he had Anquan Bolden, Larry Fitzgerald, and Edgerrin James, who also played with who? Peyton Manning. So let's call him overrated too. We're gonna use they have too many weapons on their team. Like, come on.
But yeah, no. So in short, you enjoyed the Super Bowl very, very much.
Right, and I ain't done yet.
You're a Cowboys fan,
yeah,
so
I'm a Cowboys fan, so yeah.
He wasn't really feeling no type
and we beat them, and we swept them, beat the brakes off of them twice.
Can't stand my damn owner, man. I love him as a businessman, but as an owner, no.
Yeah, Jerry gotta go, bro. He needs to retire. He's trying to be the chess player and the king at the same time. You can't be both, my boy.
You can't do that. It's not gonna work.
Exactly.
That's why we're mediocre.
But with that being said, y'all already know how I felt about the Super Bowl. Y'all see the hat. Their teams ain't make it.
We didn't even get close.
We won.
We didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, we wasn't going to. That was pretty much a foregone conclusion.
I already knew.
Before they even put pads on, we knew we wasn't going nowhere.
Exactly.
We were just being sent out to pasture on some Lassie shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Old Yeller, my fault. Old Yeller. That's basically what it was. We were put out to pasture. But with that being said, any more recap y'all have to add to the game itself and just what y'all saw? Anything that stuck out to you in particular?
Yeah,
any play?
I honestly was just shocked how the Chiefs came out flat like that. Like I was not expecting it to be a blowout, like we always mentioned before. Like, and also I think the Chiefs need to add a little bit more receivers on their team as well. You know, really get practice Mahomes a little bit more weapons around him, so that we have somebody to throw to, not have no scramble and fighting tooth and nail just to throw to somebody all the time.
Exactly. And that's another thing too. A lot of their receivers are older, like D Hop and like Kelsey. Yeah. All of our receivers are like barely older. If older than us, they're barely older than us. Jalen Hurts is only 26. Brown is only 26, maybe turning 27 this year. Devontae Smith was literally born like a year. He's literally a year older than me. Like his birthday is on the 12th. Was on November 12th, just like mine. He was born in 98. So they're still young. We still got them on the contract. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams are all young, are all the same age as us. Maybe even slightly younger. Same thing with Nolan Smith, and they've been dominating this year too. So we got age and stuff on our team on our side.
So you think age played a big factor? And why
I felt like it did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
The Chiefs need to get a little younger, get some younger pieces around Patrick Mahomes.
Exactly. Like I think their problem was, other than the fact that they tried to lock key in too much on Saquon, was the fact that Mahomes didn't really have much to throw to other than Worthy. Worthy got most of their yards, and that's kind of saying a lot.
Kelsey was a non-factor.
Kelsey only had one or two catches.
Had one, two,
maybe three at the max.
And it was late in the game. It was like towards the end.
Right. They didn't even get past the 50-yard line until the third quarter.
And it's crazy.
End of the third quarter.
Was that last year? Kelsey was like the biggest factor as far as them getting yardage last year in the Super Bowl. Kelsey was pretty much the number one option that entire game.
Exactly. And that's just the crazy part about it all, bro. But with that being said, I have one more thing. They would talk about how the refs were going to cheat us out the game. To be honest, they were about to at first with a offensive pass interference call on Brown, but after that they called a pretty fair game, and most of the flags that were thrown came in our favor. Now I think maybe you could. This might be a stretch, but when Milton Williams had that strip sack on Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Carter followed up by laying out Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. So I'm like, that could have been a roughing the passer call, but at the same time, he didn't throw the ball, and he had his hand in his face mask, had his hand on his face mask and everything. But I don't think that was like a dirty play. I think it was just like, trying to get to the guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I saw that and they threw a flag, I'm like, oh, they calling it back. No. They said unsportsmanlike conduct. I was like, ooh, they ain't gonna like that. But hey, last thing. It was just a great game. Fly Eagles fly. I loved it. Give us our respect. That's all I'm gonna say. Speaking of respect, we gotta give our flowers and respect to another certain artist, halftime show performer, and the one and only.
It'd be Kendrick Lamar, of course. So we've obviously talked about the Super Bowl halftime performance, going into it this year from when it was first announced.
Right.
We touched on the whole controversy of Kendrick being chosen over Wayne. And now, after many months of anticipation, a week after he won a record 5 Grammys for the same song, Not Like Us, he finally took stage last night in the halftime show. And overall, me personally, because I'm not going to lie, I may have probably put this on a different level than maybe it was fair. I had very, very, very high expectation because, it's Kendrick Lamar. You hear that name, not even just counting the beef, just in general. Kendrick has always displayed a level of artistry and showmanship that would warrant a Super Bowl halftime show. And overall, especially watching it back now, I can say it was a good performance. I enjoyed the Samuel L. Jackson cameo. I enjoyed that aspect.
This was amazing too.
Yeah, I enjoyed the choreography. The set list was solid. But with that being said, man, that the haters out here that for whatever reason can't seem to appreciate Kendrick or anything that he brings to the table. Anytime Kendrick does anything, it just seems like there's a certain group of people that are just eager to take credit away from his artistry and it was mid or it really wasn't all that good. The production value was this, that, and the third. So I got further thoughts, but I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all get y'all's initial thoughts and reactions on the halftime performance and what overall did you notice, or what did it take? What did you most take from it? Honestly,
I honestly really enjoyed the show. I mean, I like the production. I like everything about the show. The show was just great, and her voice is just amazing, man.
They were saying that she lip synced. People were saying that wasn't even really her, which that's cap.
Yeah, she can really sing though.
Yeah, 100%. We're getting ready to see her in May. I know for a fact she can sing.
Yeah.
I don't even know where this idea is coming from, but I don't know. You go ahead.
Yeah, but I did like the show though. I like the songs she played and everything, and also I saw quite a bit of people say that it was the worst show they ever seen. I'm like, really?
People say that every year though.
Yeah, true. But yeah, it was good. It was not bad at all. It was really good.
Yeah. With that being said, I think it was okay. I thought it was better than okay. It was good. It was a good show. Yeah. I think I put it. I was like you, Rod, when I put it on a pedestal as well. But I didn't think it was bad. It didn't reach my expectations of it, but it was still good. Like I like the set design where the X, the circle, the square, and the triangle. People want to say that it was reminiscent of Squid Game, which it was. But I think it was more reminiscent of PlayStation 2 because, those are their classic shapes and that are on the buttons and everything. I thought that set piece was really cool, especially when they go to the X, when they start playing Humble and Loyalty. Not Loyalty.
Squabble Up.
They play
not Squabble Up. Squabble Up was like one of the very first songs he played.
Right.
It was
DNA.
It was Peekaboo for the X, I think.
Okay, all right. Well, in that case, even still, the way they were panned back and forth, pan between each shape, each side of the X and everything. I thought that was really cool with the different dancers and the choreography and everything. I thought that was really, 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 really well done. I started there for a second, but y'all couldn't tell, could you? Ting. Anyway, but my biggest takeaway from this show,
not like us.
Yeah. How Drake? If you watching this, and I doubt you are, please don't sue us. But you really need to understand that you took an L, big homie.
Yeah.
This man literally got 5 Grammys off of a diss track. Hit him up by Tupac didn't even do that. And Tupac is held as the greatest rapper of all time by a lot of old heads out there. That's kind of wild to me. Yeah, everybody in the whole stadium was saying A minor.
Like you can hear it. Like, they hear it on TV, clear as day. That's how you know.
They stopped the music and everything just for that moment. They even had Serena Williams, which was she Drake's ex or something like that?
Yes. Yeah.
Crip walking out there.
That was...
Shout out to Classic Man D.
Because in Not Like Us, he said from Alondra to... I can't remember where it was. He said, better not speak on Serena. Mm-hmm. So, he went to bat for Serena on Not Like Us. And, full circle moment, her being on that stage.
Yeah.
So what he did there was very intentional.
Right, exactly. And from the songs were done really well again. Of course, All the Stars and SZA did a really good job too. Like I
predicted, of course.
Yeah, he did.
I predicted Luther as well.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that was kind of a given.
It was kind of given. I figured this was
matter of fact, I can't even take credit for that.
No, take credit. No, I mean, take credit. No, take credit. I'm just saying, but my thing is, I thought it was really good, but of course you're gonna have those haters out there that are gonna say, "Oh, they had no creativity." I'm like,
it was mid as well. A lot of people
was mid.
Saying.
Like, what do y'all be drinking? Is my question. Rod, you take this part, bro. You know what you want to say. Go crazy.
Let me
like I did.
Let me go ahead and just recap the set list first and foremost. He opened with Whacked Out Murals, I believe, which that was actually very surprising to me. Mm-hmm. But not really, because part of me was thinking, like, man, that would be cool if he did it. But actually, I lied. I think he started with Whacked Out Murals, and then he went into a new song. Mm-hmm. Then he did Squabble Up. And then I think he got into DNA. I believe he did...
Humble.
Yeah, Humble. Yeah, I was about to say. He did Euphoria. He was teasing Not Like Us throughout the whole, performance.
Oh yeah, and he even said something about I don't want to play. I want to play it, but they know they like to sue.
Yeah, exactly. So he was being petty as usual. We already mentioned Luther. We already mentioned All the Stars. TV Off was the closer. Loved that because when I first heard TV Off, you know, that song, that beat, that just was Super Bowl worthy. That just had a very Super Bowl grandiose sort of like just energy to it. So, you know, that was a full circle moment hearing the Mustard, you know, live on TV.
I think,
and then he brought Mustard out.
Yeah, that was hard. I like that.
That was cold.
That was tough.
So, overall, I think for me personally, I think he did do good. And I do think that my expectations may have got the best of me to a degree. But looking at it objectively for what it was, I do believe it was a solid performance. But like I said, with that being said, like you say, you're gonna have these haters and these people who can be like, "Oh, it was mid, this, that, and the third. Oh, well, Wayne should have performed." You got some people who still on that dumb shit, even though all of these videos have come out recently about Wayne, him at Lil Weezy Anifest, for example. Wayne couldn't hold he couldn't remember his lyrics. He was off key. He looked like he was barely even present for his own festival.
I'm like, how do you do that?
Yeah. So my thing is, once again, the whole thing with this controversy, I feel like it was manufactured. I feel like this controversy never really existed until they announced it was Kendrick because, as we mentioned many times before, when has it ever been a case where the audience, where the city determines what artist is going to perform? Like, that's literally never been a thing.
And I mentioned this before, not to hate on this artist, dang it, but back when it was the Ravens and the 49ers, the halftime show was Beyonce. Where was all this energy for Lil Wayne then?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Because y'all know me, I'm not a big fan of Beyonce. Well, I mean, no quotes or nothing, but continue, dog.
But yeah, no, I feel like at this point, these people that be hating on Kendrick, it's just a matter of I don't know what it is exactly. I don't know if it's like they don't like Kendrick because his music has a message to it. I don't know if they don't like him because like he challenges the listener. And he just is not necessarily the most club friendly or whatever the case may be. But I feel like it's a shame that you got so many people that hate an artist that is that great for whatever reason. Like I've never understood how we can live in a time where it's like somebody who's clearly that talented and puts in that much work could be so disrespected. But y'all want to see somebody like and Wayne's talented too. Don't get me wrong. Don't ever get that twisted. Wayne is a great artist, but Wayne's not a showman like that. And, like, I just don't see why so many people can't get it through their head that Kendrick made sense from an artistic standpoint. But I feel like these people don't really care about art like that. And I don't want to sound like, you know,
like a snob.
Holier than thou individual, or y'all just don't get it because y'all are just not as intelligent as me. I just feel like, straight up, some people just don't appreciate art for real.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like some people just don't appreciate an artist that actually puts real intention into his craft. Like Kendrick has always been somebody who's elevated and raised the bar with each and every project. He's always gone the extra mile to convey his message both in the music and in terms of the visuals. If you go back and you look at videos from the Damn tour, from the Steppers tour, the costumes, the visuals, it was always a show. It's always a showcasing of artistry, period. And this is somebody who very clearly takes time and puts effort into his art. And I just don't understand people who look at that and like, nah, this ain't it. But Boss Man D-Lo's that guy. Make it make sense.
It don't.
And not to take credit away from anybody who was a Boss Man D-Lo fan or to say that he doesn't have his place, because he do. But for me personally, I don't really see how you could put Kendrick down. And you know what? For me personally, it's not that there's anything wrong with not liking Kendrick. Mm-hmm. If you don't like Kendrick's music, if you don't like his art for whatever reason, that's perfectly fine. But I don't really care for people who try to diminish it and discredit it per se.
Right, and
they try to make it seem like, oh, it really ain't all that, but when in reality, y'all just don't really take time to understand it, which is fine. Nobody's forcing you to do it.
That part.
But that's just how I personally see it.
They don't even give them a chance don't give him a real chance to actually listen to it.
That's what I'm saying. Like it just seems like there's this type of person that just hates Kendrick, that just hates the idea of even giving it a chance, and I don't know why. But that's pretty much all I have to say, honestly. I enjoyed it. You know, it could have been better. There was definitely room for improvement, as there is with anything. I'm not going to sit here and say this is the greatest performance ever, but to call it mid and to call it trash, I really feel like that's a gross over-exaggeration. I mean, it is what it is. You know, you got some people that are going to mess with it and some people that don't. And that's pretty much what I have to say on it. Yeah. It is what it is.
And also, a quick question. So you say Lil Wayne isn't a showman like that, right?
Yeah.
And like, at the end of the day, this is the Super Bowl. You gotta be a soldier. You gotta actually special. So like thousands, millions of people are watching.
That's what I'm saying.
This ain't like a concert. Now, it's like a little small concert. Then yeah, you can probably get away with that. But this is a Super. This is like the main event. You gotta like have like a little bit of enthusiasm, like like a little bit of like artwork, and like be creative with it.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because Wayne, like I said, when it comes down to it. I love Wayne. I would love to see Wayne in concert just for the fact that that's one of my favorite artists. But when you look at just what the Super Bowl requires and what it demands of you as an artist, they demand for you to put on a show. You're not going to put somebody on a stage in front of 100 million people that can't even remember his lyrics.
Right.
It don't make no sense. That's a very bad look. That's a very bad look.
That's a bad look for investors. Like I don't see why people can't understand that.
Right, exactly.
Or it's like they understand that, but they don't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah,
right.
Because they just want so badly to take credit away from Kendrick.
I'll put it like this: y'all are exactly right, because the Super Bowl is arguably the number one most watched event in all of the country.
Exactly. Year after year.
Right. At first I was going to say in the world, but the World Cup kind of got that by a mile, really, because of this, World Cup. But if it wasn't,
and then you got to also remember football, as it's called in the rest of the world, is way bigger than football. Football is huge here. Like our football is huge, in America, but worldwide, soccer/football is.
Messi
is bigger than any NFL player.
Yeah, everybody loves Messi.
I think so. Messi got to be bigger than anybody in the NFL currently.
You like Messi, bro?
I never really paid attention to Messi, but
I'll give that to
Messi's worldwide.
I'll give that to Ronaldo. I'm not
Ronaldo and Messi. I think
I'll say I see where you're coming from. I'm not so sure. Okay, no, I got you. I think you're right, but like y'all say, you gotta bring it. Like Lil Wayne did WrestleMania.
Yeah, and that wasn't
look at that turned out. Yeah, and WrestleMania ain't nearly on the caliber that the Super Bowl is.
No.
Maybe there are other wrestling fans, but not on the caliber that the Super Bowl.
No, it ain't.
Everybody tunes in to watch the Super Bowl. There are people they showed on the game last night that there was people overseas in Europe and India and Southeast Asia and all them watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so everybody watch it every year.
I mean,
it's an event. Like it's basically a holiday.
Essentially, yeah.
Kind of is.
I kind of wish you didn't have to go to work.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Facts.
That would have been awesome.
They need to mandate that shit.
That would have been so awesome.
The Monday after the Super Bowl Sunday, you get off of that. Could have folks calling out anyway.
Yeah, might as well.
Exactly. Like I remember, I made a joke about that at Bosch or something. Either that or it was a John Wick movie. I don't know. But I said, like, man, you gonna make us work on Super Bowl Sunday, bro? We gotta watch. It's the Super Bowl, man. You can call it. Well, I don't know if it's like the Super Bowl, but it's always Bosch Day here. I'm like, you just killed the joke, you dumb motherfucker. Anyway, I'm just like, yeah, y'all right. You got to bring it for all the people that want to hate on Kendrick just because of his music. Okay, that's fine. You know what? Do what you want to do.
It is, man.
But when I ask you why you don't like him, I don't want to hear nothing about how his music is too complex to listen to.
No, because I feel like most of the time when you ask somebody why they don't like his music, they can't really articulate it.
Yeah,
because whenever I've ever heard somebody say they don't really mess with Kendrick, they don't really say why. They just be like, I don't really care for it. It's not really my cup of tea. And
why?
In the back of my mind, I always want to ask why, but I know they're not gonna say why. I know why because I've never heard anybody say Kendrick's music is trash though. I've never heard somebody say he makes bad music. It's always, it really ain't all that, or I don't really, it's not really my cup of tea. It's not really my preference, because I think what it is that Kendrick kind of has this idea, this reputation that maybe it's holier than thou or it's preachy. And I think that this type of person, they don't want to hear that, or they think they don't want to hear it. So it's like, they think it's corny or something.
Right.
Man. I think it's preachy. It comes off as very holier than thou, lyrical, miracle, spiritual. I ain't trying to hear that. I'm trying to hear that turn shit. I think that's
but then be the same people saying that they like J. Cole more. When J. Cole is
the same boat,
but this is the same boat,
right? But when J. Cole is just a better overall artist, I'm like, I ain't even giving that to him. I love J. Cole; he's my second favorite rapper of all time. But when it comes to pure artistry, I don't want to hear it. I don't think J. Cole's a better artist than Kendrick or rapper.
I don't think so either.
But they're hella similar though. I'll say that
they have a lot of similarities. They have a lot of overlap.
Exactly.
Their artistry and how they present themselves. I think Cole is more relatable than
Kendrick. I think that's why.
That's what it is. Yeah. Cole has more of an everyday, laid back, sort of chill persona, and Kendrick is more of the very elusive, very like high art, high concept individual. And I think a lot of people just feel offended by that for some reason. And they think that Kendrick thinks he's better than people. I think that's
I agree. Because J. Cole is arguably just as preachy. He literally says in Love Yours, there's no such thing as a life that's better. That's preachy in and of itself.
But like I said, I think he just comes across more laid back. I think they think Kendrick is this ultra serious artist that takes himself too seriously. I think they just think he got an ego or some shit. So that's why they don't really go out of their way to check for Kendrick.
Yeah, the same reason why they would say they don't like Hopsin or something like that. Because Hopsin was very preachy too.
Yeah, but I mean that's just.
But Hopsin was still a good rapper. So,
like I said, I just think that this is part of a bigger conversation. I think hip hop now is so big in terms of its audience that a lot of people want different things out of hip hop than just the lyricism or the concepts or the complexities. Some people just want to turn up and nod their head to some shit, which hip hop.
There's ain't nothing wrong with that.
Exactly, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Because I mean, I would be lying if I said that I wasn't a huge fan of artists like that too. But
like Playboy Carti.
Both is what I don't understand.
I love both. I can do both.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can do both.
But it seems like this type of individual feel like they got to draw a line in the sand for some reason. Right. They feel like, oh, no, I can't fuck with that shit because it's too it's too preachy or whatever. Yeah. Let me put on this, I don't know, this turn-up rapper, that's talking about trapping or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, it kind of is what it is, low-key.
Yeah.
I'm not tripping one way or the other.
Yeah. But with that being said, we want to thank you, Ty, for coming on the show with us today.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you.
Let's do it again, man. I had a great time.
We definitely will. Definitely will. But with that being said, I've been Jay.
This has been Rodney.
This has been Ty.
We are LATD. Remember, y'all, always look at the details. Peace.